If you're over 60 and taking prescription medications, there's one so-called superfood that doctors are now warning could be more dangerous than helpful. It's not fast food or processed snacks. It's blueberries. Yes, those antioxidant-packed berries everyone says will keep your brain sharp and your heart healthy. But here's what the mainstream health advice isn't telling you. Blueberries contain compounds that can amplify or interfere with common senior medications in ways that younger bodies don't experience. I've spent years studying how aging changes the way our bodies process foods, and I've seen too many seniors end up in emergency rooms because they followed generic health advice without knowing the age-specific risks. Today, I'm exposing the hidden truth about when blueberries become dangerous for older adults and sharing the safer alternatives that protect your health while still giving you powerful nutrients. If you want to learn more about staying healthy and living long, hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a tip designed for you. And I'd love to hear from you. Share in the comment your age, gender, and what prescription drug you're taking right now. Now, let me tell you about Margaret, a 72-year-old retired teacher from Ohio who thought she was doing everything right for her health. Her cardiologist had prescribed warfarin to prevent blood clots after her mild heart attack 2 years earlier. Her primary care doctor suggested eating blueberries daily for brain health. Margaret followed both pieces of advice religiously, enjoying 2 cups of fresh blueberries with her morning oatmeal every single day for 6 months. She felt proud of her healthy choices, until the morning she woke up with bruises covering her arms and legs, blood in her urine, and a nosebleed that wouldn't stop. Her husband rushed her to the emergency room, where doctors discovered her blood had become dangerously thin. Margaret's story represents thousands of seniors across the country who trusted mainstream health advice without knowing about the hidden risks lurking in their kitchen. She had no idea that those innocent-looking blueberries were quietly interfering with her life-saving medication. The emergency room team ran test after test, checking for internal bleeding, measuring her blood clotting levels, and trying to figure out what had gone wrong. Her INR level, which measures how long blood takes to clot, had shifted outside the safe range. Warfarin patients need to maintain an INR between 2.0 and 3.0, but foods high in vitamin K can push these levels dangerously off target. What nobody tells you is that Margaret was taking warfarin, a blood thinner that requires very careful balance, and those 2 cups of blueberries daily had been quietly sabotaging that balance for months. Warfarin works by blocking vitamin K, which helps blood clot. Fresh blueberries contain about 28.6 micrograms of vitamin K per cup. While this might seem modest compared to leafy greens, the consistent daily intake was enough to interfere with her medication's effectiveness. The problem becomes more complex when you consider that frozen blueberries have a similar vitamin K profile, but dried blueberries concentrate these levels significantly higher. The statistics are more alarming than most people realize. Research shows that 23% of seniors on blood thinners experience complications from food interactions, and many of these cases involve foods that are generally considered healthy. Margaret's doctors initially missed the blueberry connection because food interactions with warfarin aren't widely discussed in routine medical appointments. Most doctors focus on leafy greens like spinach and kale when they talk about vitamin K, but they rarely mention berries. The oversight is understandable, but dangerous. Margaret's case isn't isolated. There are 3 specific categories of medications that create risky interactions with blueberries, and millions of seniors are taking at least one of them without knowing about the food restrictions. The vitamin K in blueberries creates what doctors call a seesaw effect with medication levels. When you eat blueberries regularly, your vitamin K intake can make blood thinners less effective, potentially leading to dangerous clots. But when you suddenly stop eating them, your vitamin K drops, making the medication too powerful and increasing bleeding risk. The emergency room team worked quickly to reverse Margaret's dangerously thin blood using vitamin K injections and fresh frozen plasma. She spent 3 days in the hospital while doctors carefully monitored her clotting levels and adjusted her warfarin dose. The experience was terrifying for Margaret and her family, and completely preventable if anyone had warned her about the blueberry connection. But here's the breakthrough that changed everything for Margaret and could protect you too. Her hematologist, a blood specialist, introduced her to blackberries as a safer alternative. Research shows that blackberries contain the same powerful anthocyanins that give blueberries their brain-boosting reputation, but they have significantly lower vitamin K content. These purple compounds cross the blood-brain barrier and protect brain cells from inflammation and oxidative damage just as effectively as blueberries. Studies show that seniors who eat blackberries regularly experience the same improvements in memory and cognitive function as those eating blueberries, but without any interference with blood-thinning medications. Margaret now enjoys a cup of fresh blackberries with her morning oatmeal, and her warfarin levels have remained stable for over a year. Her latest cognitive tests show continued improvement in memory and focus. She gets all the brain protective benefits she was seeking from blueberries, but with complete safety for her medication regimen. But what Margaret discovered was just the beginning. Blood thinners aren't the only medications that create dangerous interactions with blueberries.
2. The heart medication trap. If you're taking heart medications, there's a compound in blueberries that can amplify their effects in dangerous ways. Most seniors think combining heart-healthy foods with heart medications creates double protection, but the reality is far more complex and potentially dangerous. Blueberries contain natural blood pressure-lowering compounds called anthocyanins that seem beneficial on their own. But when you're already taking ACE inhibitors, beta blockers, or other heart medications, these compounds can become too powerful for your aging body to handle safely. What nobody tells you is that the anthocyanins in blueberries can drop your blood pressure by an additional 15 to 20 points when combined with common heart medications like lisinopril, metoprolol, or amlodipine. That might sound like extra protection, but for seniors whose bodies already process medications differently, this double hit can send blood pressure plummeting to dangerous levels. Your doctor prescribed your heart medication at a specific dose to work with your current diet and health status. Adding concentrated amounts of blood pressure-lowering compounds from blueberries throws that careful balance completely off track. Meet Robert, a 68-year-old retired mechanic from Texas who learned this lesson the hard way. Robert had been managing his high blood pressure with an ACE inhibitor for 3 years with excellent results. His blood pressure stayed around 125/80, right where his cardiologist wanted it. When Robert read about blueberries being good for heart health, he decided to supercharge his cardiovascular protection by drinking a large blueberry smoothie every morning. He used a full cup of frozen blueberries, thinking more antioxidants meant better heart protection. For 2 weeks, Robert felt fine and proud of his healthy choice. On a Tuesday morning in March, Robert finished his usual blueberry smoothie and took his morning ACE inhibitor as prescribed. Within an hour, he felt dizzy and lightheaded while reading the newspaper. He stood up to get a glass of water and immediately felt the room spinning. His vision went dark, and he collapsed in his kitchen, hitting his head on the counter and breaking his hip in the fall. His neighbor found him 2 hours later and called an ambulance. At the hospital, Robert's blood pressure measured 78/45, dangerously low levels that had triggered his fainting episode. The emergency room doctors couldn't figure out what had caused Robert's blood pressure to crash so dramatically. His medication levels were normal, and he hadn't changed his prescription routine. It wasn't until a sharp resident asked about his diet that they discovered the blueberry smoothie connection. The anthocyanins from that cup of blueberries, combined with his ACE inhibitor, had created a perfect storm that nearly cost Robert his independence. He spent 4 days in the hospital and 6 weeks in rehabilitation learning to walk again after his hip surgery. Here's what makes this even more dangerous for seniors. Research shows that adults over 70 metabolize anthocyanins 40% slower than younger people. Your aging kidneys and liver can't process these compounds as quickly as they used to, which means the blood pressure lowering effects build up in your system and last much longer. What might cause a mild temporary blood pressure drop in a 40-year-old can create hours of dangerously low blood pressure in a senior. This slower metabolism makes the effects unpredictable and potentially life-threatening. The tragedy is that many heart patients actually increase their blueberry intake, thinking more is better for cardiovascular health. They see headlines about antioxidants and heart protection and assume that eating more blueberries will enhance their medication's benefits. But what most seniors miss is that timing matters just as much as quantity. Consuming blueberries within 2 hours of taking heart medication creates the highest risk for dangerous blood pressure drops. Robert's cardiologist explained that the worst episodes happen when seniors eat blueberries on an empty stomach in the morning, right around the time they take their heart medications. The concentrated anthocyanins hit your bloodstream quickly when there's no food to slow absorption, and your blood pressure can drop within 30 to 60 minutes. This timing creates a perfect storm for hypotensive episodes that can lead to falls, fractures, and serious injuries. But Robert discovered a safer alternative that actually provides superior heart protection. His cardiologist introduced him to raspberries, which contain different types of anthocyanins that work more gently on blood vessels. Raspberries provide powerful antioxidant protection and support healthy blood flow, but they don't cause the dramatic blood pressure swings that blueberries can trigger. The compounds in raspberries work more gradually and predictably, making them much safer for seniors on heart medications. Studies show that seniors who eat raspberries regularly experience steady improvements in arterial flexibility and blood flow without the dangerous blood pressure fluctuations. Robert now enjoys a half cup of fresh raspberries with his breakfast, and his blood pressure has remained stable for over a year. He gets excellent antioxidant protection for his heart, while avoiding the medication interactions that nearly cost him his mobility. But even if you're not on heart medications, there's another category of drugs that makes blueberries risky.
3. The diabetes medication double bind. Diabetic seniors face a cruel irony. The fruit that doctors and nutritionists recommend for blood sugar control can actually make their medications dangerously effective. You've probably heard that blueberries are perfect for diabetics because of their fiber content and low glycemic index. Health magazines praise them as nature's candy that won't spike your blood sugar. Diabetes educators recommend them as safe snacks. Even the American Diabetes Association suggests berries as good fruit choices for seniors managing blood sugar. But what nobody tells you is that blueberries contain powerful compounds called polyphenols that enhance insulin sensitivity in ways that can turn your carefully managed diabetes medications into a ticking time bomb. These same compounds that make blueberries sound so appealing for diabetics can actually cause your blood sugar to drop to dangerous levels when combined with common medications like metformin, glyburide, or insulin. The anthocyanins in blueberries don't just provide antioxidants. They actively change how your body processes glucose, making your diabetes medications work much more effectively than your doctor intended. Meet Helen, a 74-year-old retired librarian from Michigan who discovered this dangerous interaction the hard way. Helen had been managing her type 2 diabetes with metformin for 8 years with excellent results. Her blood sugar levels stayed consistently in the healthy range, and her doctor was pleased with her progress. When Helen read that blueberries could help with blood sugar control and brain health, she decided to add a cup of fresh blueberries to her daily routine. She ate them with her morning yogurt, thinking she was making the perfect healthy choice for her diabetes. For 3 weeks, Helen felt fine and proud of her nutritious breakfast. But on a Thursday morning in June, about 2 hours after eating her usual blueberry and yogurt combination and taking her metformin, Helen felt unusually tired and confused while doing her morning crossword puzzle. She couldn't concentrate on simple clues that would normally be easy for her. Her hands started shaking and she felt dizzy and nauseous. Her neighbor found her sitting on her front porch, sweating and disoriented, unable to remember what day it was. The paramedics measured Helen's blood sugar at 45 milligrams per deciliter, dangerously low levels that put her at risk for seizures, coma, or worse. Normal blood sugar should stay between 80 and 130 before meals for diabetics. Helen's had crashed because the polyphenols in those daily blueberries had been quietly enhancing her body's response to metformin, making the medication far more powerful than expected. She spent 6 hours in the emergency room receiving glucose injections and careful monitoring until her blood sugar stabilized. Here's what makes this even more dangerous for diabetic seniors. Research shows that the polyphenols in blueberries can increase glucose uptake by muscle cells by up to 30%. That sounds like good news for diabetics, but when you're already taking medications designed to lower blood sugar, this enhanced glucose uptake creates a double effect that can send your levels plummeting. Your diabetes medication is calculated based on your body's normal insulin sensitivity. When blueberries artificially boost that sensitivity, your medication becomes much more powerful than your doctor intended. The hidden danger is that symptoms of hypoglycemia in seniors are often mistaken for normal aging. Confusion, fatigue, shakiness, and difficulty concentrating can easily be dismissed as just getting older. Helen's neighbor almost didn't call for help because Helen seemed tired rather than seriously ill. Many seniors experience dangerous blood sugar drops without recognizing the emergency symptoms, especially when the drops happen gradually over several hours rather than suddenly. But there's another complication that makes blueberries particularly risky for diabetic seniors. The fiber in blueberries can delay medication absorption, creating unpredictable blood sugar swings throughout the day. Sometimes your medication gets absorbed quickly, sometimes slowly, depending on how much fiber you've eaten and when. This unpredictable absorption makes it nearly impossible to maintain stable blood sugar levels even with careful monitoring and consistent meal timing. Helen's endocrinologist warned that this problem is becoming more common as seniors try to eat healthier by adding more fruit to their diets. The doctor explained that WebMD specifically warns that blueberry fruit might lower blood sugar levels, and taking blueberry along with diabetes medications might cause blood sugar to drop too low, recommending close monitoring. But most patients never receive this crucial information during routine appointments. The solution Helen discovered provides all the antioxidant benefits of blueberries without any medication interactions. Her doctor introduced her to specific antioxidant-rich vegetables that deliver the same protective compounds found in blueberries but actually support stable blood sugar instead of interfering with it. Broccoli, bell peppers, and Brussels sprouts contain powerful antioxidants called sulforaphane and quercetin that protect against diabetic complications while working with your medications instead of against them. These vegetables provide superior protection for diabetic seniors because they contain fiber that slows glucose absorption gradually and predictably without the blood sugar lowering compounds that make blueberries risky. Beyond medications, there's something happening inside aging bodies that make blueberries particularly problematic.
4. The aging kidney crisis. After age 60, your kidneys lose 10% of their filtering power each decade, and blueberries can overwhelm what's left of your body's natural waste removal system.
Most seniors don't realize that their kidneys are quietly struggling to keep up with the demands of processing everyday foods that used to be perfectly safe. Your kidneys work around the clock to filter waste products, excess minerals, and toxins from your blood. But this critical function weakens significantly as you age. What seems like a healthy choice in your kitchen could be putting dangerous stress on organs that are already working overtime just to keep you healthy. Here's what nobody tells you about aging kidneys. They don't just slow down gradually. They lose entire filtering units called nephrons. And once those nephrons are gone, they never come back. By the time you reach 70, your kidneys may be operating at only 60% of their original capacity. But because the decline happens slowly, you probably don't notice any symptoms until the damage becomes severe. This hidden kidney decline makes seniors vulnerable to compounds that younger bodies handle easily, turning innocent foods into potential health hazards. The high potassium content in blueberries can accumulate to dangerous levels in seniors with reduced kidney function, creating a silent crisis that builds up over weeks or months. A single cup of fresh blueberries contains about 114 milligrams of potassium. That might not sound like much, but when your kidneys can't efficiently remove excess potassium from your bloodstream, those daily servings start adding up. Your body needs some potassium to function properly, but too much becomes toxic, and aging kidneys struggle to maintain the delicate balance. Meet Frank, a 69-year-old retired electrician from Arizona whose kidney function was borderline, and daily blueberry consumption pushed his potassium levels into the danger zone. Frank had been dealing with slightly elevated creatinine levels for 2 years, a sign that his kidneys weren't filtering waste as efficiently as they used to. His doctor told him to watch his diet, but didn't provide specific guidance about fruits. When Frank read that blueberries were good for brain health and heart protection, he started eating a large bowl every morning with his cereal, thinking he was making a smart health choice. For 6 weeks, Frank felt fine and proud of his nutritious breakfast routine, but gradually he started feeling more tired than usual after his morning walks. He thought it was just the Arizona heat or normal aging. Then he began experiencing muscle weakness that made it hard to grip his coffee mug or turn doorknobs. His wife noticed that his heartbeat seemed irregular when they were watching television in the evenings, skipping beats or racing unexpectedly. Frank dismissed these symptoms as getting older, but his body was actually struggling with dangerously high potassium levels. During a routine checkup, Frank's blood work revealed that his potassium had climbed to 5.8 milliequivalents per liter. Normal levels should stay between 3.5 and 5.0. His doctor was alarmed because potassium levels above 5.5 can cause serious heart rhythm problems. The cardiologist ordered an immediate EKG, which showed the telltale changes that happen when potassium starts affecting the heart's electrical system. Frank was hours away from a potentially fatal heart rhythm disturbance. But what most seniors miss is that aging kidneys struggle to excrete excess potassium, leading to hyperkalemia, a condition that can literally stop the heart. When potassium builds up in your bloodstream, it interferes with the electrical signals that keep your heart beating regularly. The heart muscle becomes overly sensitive to these electrical impulses, which can trigger dangerous arrhythmias or even cardiac arrest. Frank's daily blueberries had been slowly poisoning his cardiovascular system because his aging kidneys couldn't keep up with the potassium load. The real number is way higher than you'd expect. Research shows that 37% of adults over 70 have some degree of kidney impairment, often undiagnosed. Most seniors have no idea their kidney function is declining because the early stages don't cause obvious symptoms. You feel fine, your energy seems normal, and your doctor might not order kidney function tests unless you specifically ask. But inside your body, those failing kidneys are setting you up for dangerous mineral imbalances that can strike without warning. The symptoms of potassium overload, fatigue, weakness, and irregular heartbeat are often dismissed as normal aging.
Frank's wife had noticed his symptoms for weeks, but assumed they were just part of getting older. Even Frank's primary care doctor initially attributed the fatigue and weakness to arthritis and normal aging until the blood work revealed the dangerous potassium levels. This is one of the biggest mistakes seniors make without realizing it, accepting dangerous symptoms as inevitable parts of aging. But there's another hidden problem with blueberries that affects kidney health. The oxalates in blueberries can contribute to kidney stone formation in susceptible seniors. Oxalates are naturally occurring compounds that bind with calcium in your kidneys, forming sharp, painful crystals that can block urine flow and cause excruciating pain. Seniors who have had kidney stones in the past are at higher risk for developing new stones, and the oxalates in daily blueberry consumption can tip the balance toward stone formation. Frank discovered a safer alternative that actually provides superior benefits for aging bodies. His nephrologist introduced him to cherries, which offer powerful anti-inflammatory benefits for aging joints without putting stress on struggling kidneys. Cherries contain natural compounds called anthocyanins that reduce inflammation and pain in arthritic joints, but they're much lower in potassium than blueberries. Studies show that seniors who eat cherries regularly experience less joint pain and stiffness than those eating other fruits, and they do it without overwhelming their kidneys with excess minerals. But there's one more hidden danger that affects seniors taking the most common prescription in America.
5. The blood thinner time bomb. Warfarin creates the most dangerous interactions with blueberries because of their vitamin K content, which directly opposes how blood thinners work. Blood thinners like warfarin require precise balance to work safely, and even small dietary changes can tip the scales dangerously in either direction. Your doctor calculated your exact dose based on your current diet and health status, but adding or removing certain foods can make your medication either too weak to prevent dangerous clots or too strong, causing life-threatening bleeding episodes. But what nobody tells you is that blueberries contain vitamin K, which opposes blood thinners, creating unpredictable effects that make it nearly impossible to maintain safe blood levels. While blueberries also contain small amounts of salicylates that can enhance blood thinning, vitamin K is the primary concern for seniors on warfarin. This means your blood clotting can swing from day to day depending on how many blueberries you eat, what type you choose, and when you consume them. The vitamin K content varies dramatically between fresh, frozen, and processed blueberries, making dosing impossible to predict. Fresh blueberries from local farms might contain 19 micrograms of vitamin K per cup, while frozen berries from the grocery store could have 25 micrograms or more. Dried blueberries concentrate the vitamin K even further, sometimes containing double the amount of fresh berries. This inconsistency creates chaos in your blood clotting system every time you change berry types or sources. A small study found that 25 to 30% of warfarin patients experienced significant clotting fluctuations when adding high vitamin K foods like blueberries to their regular diet. These constant fluctuations increase the risk of both bleeding and clotting events because it becomes nearly impossible to maintain a stable therapeutic range. Every time your doctor changes your warfarin dose, you face weeks of uncertainty while your body adjusts to the new levels. The seasonal availability of blueberries creates additional complications for maintaining stable blood levels throughout the year. During summer months, when fresh berries are abundant, your vitamin K intake might be much higher than during winter months when you switch to frozen varieties or skip berries altogether. These seasonal changes force your doctor to constantly adjust your medication, creating a roller coaster effect that puts your health at constant risk. But there's a safer alternative that provides the same antioxidant protection without any medication interference. Pomegranate seeds offer powerful antioxidants without any blood-thinning interference.
Pomegranate seeds contain no significant vitamin K, making them completely safe for seniors on blood thinners. Studies show that the antioxidants in pomegranate seeds provide superior protection against stroke and heart disease compared to blueberries, but without any of the dangerous medication interactions. The polyphenolic compounds in pomegranate seeds deliver potent anti-inflammatory benefits while supporting cardiovascular health in ways that work with your medications instead of against them. These compounds include 𝚂𝚎𝚗𝚒𝚗𝚒 and anthocyanins that protect blood vessels and reduce oxidative stress without interfering with warfarin's carefully balanced effects on blood clotting. A quarter cup of fresh pomegranate seeds several times per week provides excellent antioxidant protection and stroke prevention without the constant worry about medication interactions. Research shows that seniors who switched from blueberries to pomegranate seeds maintained stable INR levels for months longer than those who continued eating berries. The predictable nutrient profile of pomegranate seeds allows doctors to maintain consistent warfarin dosing without the frequent adjustments that create dangerous gaps in protection. Now that you understand these hidden risks, you might be wondering what foods actually provide better nutrition for aging bodies without creating dangerous interactions with your medications.
6. The superior superfood alternatives. Leafy greens deliver everything blueberries promise, plus benefits that work specifically with aging bodies instead of against them. Most seniors have been told that blueberries are the ultimate superfood for aging brains and hearts, but the search for safer alternatives has led researchers to discover foods with superior nutrient profiles specifically designed for aging bodies. You've been missing out on more powerful antioxidants because you're fixated on blueberries when there are common vegetables sitting in your grocery store that offer everything blueberries promise, plus benefits that blueberries can't even touch. The breakthrough came when nutrition scientists started looking beyond berries to find foods that could deliver antioxidant protection without the medication interactions and health risks we've been discussing. What they discovered changed everything we thought we knew about senior nutrition. Greens like watercress rank among the highest on antioxidant scales, while kale and spinach provide comprehensive nutrition that aging bodies desperately need but rarely get enough of. While everyone's been focused on tiny berries, these powerhouse vegetables have been quietly providing superior protection right under our noses. But what nobody tells you is that leafy greens provide folate for brain health, calcium for bones, and nitrates for blood pressure control. These are benefits that blueberries simply can't match. Folate keeps your brain sharp by supporting the production of neurotransmitters that control memory and mood. As you age, your body absorbs folate less efficiently from foods, making it crucial to get more from your diet. 1 cup of spinach provides 58 micrograms of folate, while the same amount of blueberries gives you virtually none. The calcium in leafy greens is especially important because after age 60, your bones lose density faster than they can rebuild it. Kale contains 101 milligrams of calcium per cup, nearly 4 times more than blueberries. But that's not even the most impressive benefit. The nitrates in leafy greens convert to nitric oxide in your body, which helps blood vessels stay flexible and supports healthy blood pressure. This is exactly what aging arteries need to stay strong and functional. Observational studies link higher leafy green intake to slower cognitive decline, making them strong complements to or replacements for berries. The researchers found that the combination of folate, vitamin K, and antioxidants in greens provided superior brain protection compared to berries alone. Those who ate at least 1 serving of leafy greens every day maintained sharper thinking and better mental clarity as they aged. Here's what makes this even more exciting for seniors. These greens actually support your medication effectiveness rather than interfering with it like blueberries do. The vitamin K in leafy greens is bound differently than the vitamin K in blueberries, making it much safer for seniors taking blood thinners. While blueberry vitamin K can cause wild swings in your medication levels, the vitamin K in greens works more predictably with your body's systems. This means you can get powerful antioxidant protection without worrying about dangerous medication interactions. Spinach leads the list of superior alternatives, providing 181% of your daily vitamin K needs, plus iron for energy, magnesium for muscle function, and powerful antioxidants called lutein and zeaxanthin that protect your eyes from macular degeneration. Kale comes in second with 684% of your vitamin K needs, plus cancer-fighting compounds called glucosinolates that become more important as you age. Both greens supply anthocyanins and nitrates for vascular health, delivering the same protective compounds found in blueberries, but in a safer package for aging bodies. Watercress contains more antioxidants per gram than any other vegetable, making it the most nutrient-dense food you can eat. You can add spinach to morning smoothies, include kale in afternoon salads, or incorporate watercress into evening meals. Each green offers unique benefits, but all of them provide superior antioxidant protection compared to blueberries while supporting your body's aging needs instead of creating problems. These leafy greens pack powerful nutrition while supporting senior-specific health needs like bone strength, brain function, blood pressure control, and medication effectiveness. They're the real superfoods that work with your aging body instead of against it. But understanding these individual food swaps is just the beginning of making truly informed choices about your health. As you age, nutrient metabolism shifts, so work with your healthcare team to tailor your diet to your prescriptions and kidney function. Your metabolism changes after 60. Your kidneys filter differently. Your medications interact with foods in ways that younger people never experience. Generic health advice treats a 30-year-old the same as a 70-year-old, but your body knows better. At your next appointment, discuss diet-medication interactions with your doctor specifically. 3 main lessons can protect you. Monitor vitamin K intake if you take blood thinners. Space berries from medications by at least 2 hours, and consider safer alternatives like leafy greens or pomegranate seeds that work with your prescriptions instead of against them. Making informed, age-appropriate food choices is the real key to healthy aging and independence. In our next section, we'll show how to build a weekly meal plan around these safer superfoods.